Islam came with 5 things. And these 5 things, if we preserve them, we will have a good society, healthy society. First one, Islam came to preserve religion. What does that mean? It means in Islam, if you start worshipping a false god, that including our desires, then we'll have corruption, and I will demonstrate to you that. But when you worship the true God, Islam tells you to protect your intellect. That's why in Islam alcohol and drugs is forbidden. Thirdly, Islam came to preserve wealth. That's why in Islam interest and gambling is forbidden. Fourthly, Islam came to preserve marriage and families. That's why adultery and fornication is forbidden. Lastly, Islam came to preserve life. That's why harming yourself, killing innocent people, committing suicide is forbidden. These 5 things that Islam came to preserve, if we preserve them, we will have a good society. Alcohol destroys us individually and collectively. You agree? Gambling, likewise. Yes. And what he does to you, literally, I know stories. Not 1, not 10, over 50 stories. Likewise. What they call it interest. Interest is a new slavery. Interest makes the rich richer, poor poorer. Likewise, fornication, adultery destroys societies. You have children, they don't know their parents and so on. And that grew up, children generally speaking, who they don't know their parents and so on, they grew up mentally not well, generally speaking. I'm not saying everyone, yes? There's exception, no doubt. So Islam, when it came to preserve these 5 things, put up barriers. However, there is some people benefit from these vices. Who are they? The people in power. They do benefit from gambling, interest, even though they know it's bad for us. So what they do, because they're rich, they're making money from the suffering of the people, they use their wealth to make Islam look bad, even though Islam is good for us individually and collectively. And the question we ask ourselves, how man that existed, Prophet Muhammad, who came with Islam, how man that existed 1,400 years ago was able to come with this perfect way of life? The 5 necessities about protecting our intellect, health and wealth and so on, about worshiping the true God. And now, also I was going to mention to you, because we're talking about the government and power, those who are in power. When Islam comes to preserve these 5 things, he brought up barriers. That break down those barriers, there's a punishment. Because we human beings, we don't think ahead. We always want something quick, even though it's bad for us. But the creator of everything, he knows what is good for us in details, what is bad for us in details. So when you look at Islamic legislation and you compare it to human legislation, Islamic legislation, the example I give is like when you go to a doctor. You with me? You go to a doctor and you say, I have a pain. What doctor give you? Painkillers.